All right, so today I want to go through side plank progression. Side plank is a really popular core exercise that a lot of people make mistakes setting up and executing properly. So I'm going to take you through a 4 exercise progression with Yaz here, take you from an assisted side plank where we're kneeling all the way up to a Copenhagen side plank, which is going to be really, really advanced. Okay, first thing we want to do is nail down our setup, and this is going to be pretty universal, at least with the upper body, how we set up when we go into a side plank. We want to see, you can see he's got his elbow directly underneath his shoulder here. Often you're going to see people set up with their elbow too far in front, out in front of their shoulder like that. It's going to make it really hard on their shoulder, or they're going to set up too close underneath, and it's going to make it hard for them to get in the right position when they get to the top. So I want to see the elbow right underneath the shoulder. I want to see their palm flat on the ground. The more ground contact we can have, the better. It's going to get a little bit more feedback from the ground. Our first progression is going to be a modified kneeling side plank. So he's going to go from his knees, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to give him a little bit of core feedback. Having something to squeeze between the knees is going to be really helpful whenever you do this drill. So something like a pillow, a towel, one of these Airex pads. I'm just going to have him squeeze right here, okay? Feet are together, hips are extended. Now, a couple little tweaks. He's going to get up. I want to see a nice straight line from his head down to his knees. But what I want him to do, is just going to reach his hand out like he's trying to reach that wall in front. I want him to really try to protract his shoulder blade. That's going to help him kind of get his obliques going. I want him to think about driving himself away from the ground with his downside elbow. And then I'm going to have him do it for breaths, not for time. So what I want him to think is big breath in the nose, long exhale out, thinking about drawing these ribs down. Now he's bowing forward by reaching, so he's getting some movement and protraction through his shoulder, but he's not reaching so far that he's flexed forward either. I want to see that he's not in an extended position, hanging in extension with his spine and his pelvis. I want to see that he's nice and straight here and a little bit protracted through the shoulder so he can get his obliques working, okay? You can relax there. Typically, we're going to start with coaching this for breaths. So I'm going to have him do maybe 3 breaths, 4 breaths, 5 breaths, and accumulate time that way. That way, breathing is on the top of his mind while he does the drill. He's not just looking at the clock, hoping to survive until the exercise is over. Once they master that on both sides, we're going to go to a regular side plank. So he's going to extend his legs out. I want him to stack his feet so he can still squeeze the pad. Okay, that's going to allow him to continue to get some irradiation from his adductor. Same thing, reach, okay, drive that elbow down to the ground. Okay, again, he's still straight here. I'm just protracting and reaching that shoulder so he's not slouching backwards. Crush this pad here. And again, we're going to just coach it for breaths. Maybe over 4 weeks, we go from 3 breaths, 4 breaths, 5 breaths, right? These should be long exhalations, maybe like a 4 breath second inhale in the nose, an 8-second exhale out the mouth to get to those core respiratory muscles working, okay? From there, you can stay right there. I'm going to slide this box over. We're simply just going to elevate the feet slightly, okay? He's going to get in the same exact position he was in. This is just going to transfer a little bit more load to the upper body, make him work a little bit harder. I still want you to squeeze the pad, okay? So bottom leg on top, body and bottom leg on the box. Squeeze this in here, crush it. Okay, same thing. He's going to get up, reach. Again, watch to make sure they're not bowing into extension and they're not bowing forward. They should look like they're standing up. We don't want to see a huge arch here. Continue to reach that arm forward, just get a little protraction. Big exhale. While he exhales, we want to see these ribs come down. Hold for a second on that exhale before breathing again. Okay? Nice. So that's our elevated side plank. The last thing we're going to go do is something we call a Copenhagen side plank. I would call it a adduction focused side plank, just so we're not naming exercises after countries so people can understand what we're talking about here. His top leg is going to be on the box here. It's going to get his adductors to work. What we're going to see is on this bottom hip, he's going to flex up. I want to see this at 90 degrees. I want to see dorsiflexion, and he's going to reach this arm forward. The reason I want to see this bottom hip flexed is, again, it's going to help him maintain his spine and pelvic position. If his hip is in extension, he's going to be more likely to go into extension. So I want to see him actively flex this up, driving this adductor in. Now he's really working on his adductors as well. Same thing, big breath in, big breath out, reaching those fingertips to the wall over there. Okay, nice straight line. Same thing, and we're going to relax down. Okay, again, take your time going through this progression. It's a really popular exercise, but we see it done poorly, and we see setups done poorly all the time. Work from the kneeling modified variation through regular to feet elevated to the adduction focused side plank. We hope you take some of these tips and they can help you out. Thanks for watching.